I know, your life's in the dark right now, but I got something for that. You got your alignment coach and your authentic coach who are empowering women and educating men. It's episode 61, y'all. Your life is a seed. Showtime is right now.
All right, we back. Go do it again. Like I said, I can't do nothing halfway. It got to be all the way good. So here we go. We back. Sorry for those who was on, and then sorry for those who didn't get on at 12, but we back. So we're going to start all over. Let's go. Your Life is a Seed, episode 61. This is going to be a good one.
Yes, and I'm your coach, C, the chiropractor, Morgan, the alignment coach.
And I'm King Harrison, your authentic coach. Let's go to the Father. Father, we thank you so much that you are gracious and you are so... You got a heart, a laughter yourself, and you know when things happen, but you teach us how to persevere and keep going. And so, Father, I thank you that we die to ourselves, and we want all of you in this show. As we talk about your life is a seed, we thank you that it's going to be impactful, it's going to be powerful, it's going to change the trajectory of the people's lives that are watching. And we thank you for just this opportunity to be used by you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Reverend Rick, there you go, Reverend Rick. I know, man. We here, though. We here. I got to just do one more thing. I got to make it public on Facebook. I don't know why I got to do that every single time. But okay, let's go. See, you did good holding it down. I got you now. Your life is a seed. We're going to deal with this. What we need to understand is that our very life is a seed. But the thing about what we missed is we don't do the part that the seed does, and that's die. You literally have to die to yourself and your agenda and your goals and what you think you should be doing as you go on the ground and die and establish roots. When you're doing that, you're developing roots so that people can benefit from the tree that you become. Whether you be a apple tree, orange tree, however you become up, people got to benefit from you as your life being a seed, but you have to die first to your agenda. And see, and the reason why this is so fresh, it's like the same time it did last time. See, the reason why this thing is so right, the reason why this thing is so fresh for me because I just spoke on the guards in the Bible this past Monday, and it's a word that I've been holding for 3 weeks. And so I seen more. What I shared at that moment was what it needed to be there, but it's something that I knew I had to share here too, and that's the fact that we have to really get to a point to it's really not about us now. As we move forward in this servanthood type atmosphere, we have to get to a point that it's really not about us and that our life is truly that seed. Now, let me show you something. What's up? There go my uncle. Yes, listen, let me show you something. I have went through a lot of traumatic experiences in my life. Now, what separates me from the norm is I have allowed God to use what I went through to be a blessing to others. So when I say you have to die to yourself, what's up, Pastor Graham? Glad you made it. When I say you have to die to yourself, let me show you. Let me give you an example because I want to teach this thing. What it is this is the example of dying to myself. So when I die to myself, when I say that, it's me saying I will not allow the traumatic experiences that I have went through to cause me to be angry, bitter, to cause me to reject people, to cause me not to trust people, because that is the norm. That is what your normally response would be from traumatic experiences, a trauma. But when you die to yourself, you reinvent, you say, okay, I acknowledge that it happened. I forgive those that did it, it caused me this thing. And I'm going to use it as a ministry to help people that also go through traumatic experience. See, now I allowed that seed of traumatic experience to die within inside of me and produce a fruit of joy, love, peace, and to produce a fruit of showing people how to persevere past the trauma. So that's what I mean when you say that's an example of dying to yourself. Because see, in life, we have a lot of things happen that really shake us. And we really don't understand sometimes, why did this happen to me? I'm here to tell you, we're here to tell you, this is why it happened to you, so that you can be a blessing to someone else. God trusted you with that and knew you was built to handle it and got you through it so that you can show somebody else that's kind of rocky, that ain't kind of built like you, to help them get through it. Because let's just be honest, not everybody have access to help. Not everybody have access to empowerment. Not everybody have access, and not everybody going to churches. But what they do have access to is you. When you go on that job, when you go in that grocery store, when you do podcasts, they have access to you. So that way you can be that seed, that very tree that they need to eat from. So that's why I would say we're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it because it's very strong in me still, and I ain't let go yet. And so I think I'm going to write a book on generosity. But listen.
Hey, nothing to stop you.
Nothing going to stop me. So listen. It's important that you understand your life is a seed. It is. So many things can be produced from your life if you're willing to let yourself die to the norm. And I think that I'm going to get a t-shirt to say that. Die to the norm. Because the norm is not really what's going to produce anything. It's really
society's norm.
Society's norm. Yeah, let's say society's norm. That's good.
Society's norm.
I'm going to die to society's norm. Because it's not going to produce. Like, it's really not. It's really not. Your life is a seed. It's so strong on me right now about the seed. It really is. Because the seed is very powerful in itself. When you think about a seed and how small a seed really is, and if it submit to the process of life, and go into the ground where you can't see it and allow itself to die so that it can produce roots, so they can establish a foundation and then push out of the ground and produce a tree of fruit that you can eat from, that's healthy, that's good for you, that's nourishing for your body. That is powerful. And guess what? That's what your life is. You're going to go through different seasons where your life is going to be a certain seed and it's going to have to die to it. It's going to go through different seasons. I'm kind of rushed because I see you wanted me to do the intro real quick again. But let me slow down because I want to elaborate on one thing. Your seed can be different things. Let me say that. The life in your seed, because you're going to go through different seasons. I'm saying one specific thing was traumatic experiences for me. That was one of the seeds that I had to die to. I had to die to the normal reaction to it. That was one. I had to die to the normal reaction to not having a father, not never seeing him. He died. That's another seed. I had to die to the fact that I was in a psych ward, and that it didn't allow it to have the normal effect that it would if you be a psych patient in a psych ward for 2 to 3 months. That's what I'm saying. So it's like how I should react in a normal society. I choose not to. I choose to react with compassion. I choose to react in a way of how can I help someone else that went through what I went through in the past years? How can I help? How can I help? That's what I'm saying. Your life is a seed. Your life is a seed. See, you ready now? I got you ready?
No, I'm fine.
You ready? I know I threw you off early because y'all should see. I had on the single screen. See, like, where'd you go? But it's because the technical difficulty was messed up and I had to get the, yeah. Oh, KG done said something. Deny yourself and follow me, Jesus said, or die to yourself and follow. Yeah. KG, you remember that song I made? I want to die to myself. That rock and roll song I made back in the day, 2006. It was tight too, but it never made it like.
Yeah,
but okay,
it,
yeah.
then, huh? For them to hear.
Didn't make it. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. So.
No, the part when you said coming up when you're saying you have to come up, through the dirt, and that's where we're at when I was speaking on, the fall that I recently had.
There you go.
Coming through that, it felt it was frustrating because I was doing well. And I always look at I have good days and I have better days. So I'm looking at, okay, I'm doing well. Now I have this fall. So when you're saying planting the seeds, it's like I'm in the middle in a limbo here. It's like, okay, how do I move forward? What can I do now? Because now I have to pivot again. Now I have to pivot with the mindset. I have to pivot with my emotions, and I have to deal with the physical. So it's like you're constant war with yourself sometimes when you're fighting to come up above the dirt. Like you said, when you're below the ground, it's like I had to sit again. I'm not saying when you're being in the eye of the storm, sit in the darkness, quote unquote, but it's a peaceful area to be real with yourself, which you can do. Hey, this is just temporary. We can move forward. Yes, it may be painful. Yes, it's going to be irritating. Yes, I'm going to have to go back to the doctors again. Yes, I'm going to have more different treatments. And some I'm not going to really want to want to do. And also the part of when we're in a seed and we're in those stages that we're going to need help. Help is not always easy to ask for, just for the pit of sometimes we think about the reactions we're going to get. And they're not only verbal, some of them are physical, body language, things that we get. So it makes us reluctant to even want to deal with that. Then it's like, okay, what energy do we want to have? We want to have positive energy. So we're going to get rid of the negative energy. And sometimes we're just like you, and it will be against sometimes medical advice, sometimes to do stuff on your own, which will make it worse for you. But then you got to set your balancing those scales. I have to do what's best for me in the situation and circumstances. So I'm going to push through that dirt and still reach for the sunlight, another element that's needed for me to grow more. The other element for us is reaching for the resources around us to grow. Another thing, and the biggest thing is put your ego aside. The ego has to be set aside. What you don't want to do or makes you uncomfortable to do, you need to do it. If it's unhealthy and if it's going to make things worse for you, yes, do not do that.
Don't
Some
do
things
that.
that you're going to have to actually push through and push through what you're going to have to do. The opposite end, as I'm pushing up, I'm still grounding roots. So we still, as a seed, will develop roots to help ground us, to make that strong base. So at the same time, we're doing both. We're grounding ourselves more mentally, an aspect of, yes, I'm going to have to rewire. I'm going to have to do the more exercises, like I said. I'm going to have a different mindset. I'm going to have to say, body, work with me. Mind, work with me right now. This is painful right now, and it is excruciating because actually with me, my spine is curved more to one side than the other, so it is excruciating. So I'm off alignment. I'm off balance. I have to rework some things that I'm going to have to do. Really can't sit. Not able to really sit very long. I have to try to balance a lot of times. So now I need to have more. I have more dependency in a sense, but I'm not gonna make a dependency as a victim. So when I'm sitting in the garden, as you spoke of, I'm going to sit in there as a plant. I'm going to use what's around me. If I need shelter from another plant, I'm going to just lean on that plant for it. I'm not going to be dependent completely, because if we get so dependent, when we become disabled in that sense. And that's with ourselves, and nothing negative with the word disabled, but we are not enabling ourselves to be the full potential that we have because of maybe the fear, because of the things that are changing within us as we're growing. And maybe, it's like, okay, maybe it was it's in the plan. It's not always my plan. It's his plan of, I need this to happen so they can find this right now. So we can adjust this, because you're not actually in full alignment where I need you to be right now. Something else, we have to tweak this just a little bit. So as we're growing, maybe my roots are going down, grounding myself more. I'm thinking I'm doing good. No, I need you to be a little bit stronger at your base, because your core is not so good, but I'm going to strengthen your base. Then we're going to strengthen your core. Then we're going to strengthen your mind even more. But we have to have that all in alignment as we're growing, as that seeds and building up. As I'm reaching, for me, as I said, to the sunlight, I'm reaching, okay, I'm going to have to set my goals of the different therapies and exercises I'm going to have to do. Now, this is not in my plan. Obviously, not what I want to do, but what I have, I was saying, for the 30 days. So my 30 days is going to be a little different than what I thought it, quote unquote, was gonna be. So I have to pivot a little more. And as we're growing, we're pruning different things. Like you said, we're starting to bud flowers, we're starting to bud leaves. For me, just getting through those exercises, small wins. Okay, I might not be able to do the 20 that I want to do, but dang, at least I got through the 5. I'm making progress. I'm not standing still and being stuck in my growth, because I always can grow sometimes. I'm always, whether it's just a small thing that we don't always see, as some plants change color or they'll bloom a flower, that's a small win and grace we have to give ourselves. For me, that would look like in my next 30 days, in February, that's going to be having a new set of the exercises I'm going to have to try. I'm going to have to adjust now. I'm going to have to be like, I'm not going to like it all the time. And there'll probably be times where I'm going to be probably angry, probably enraged, because it's not what I want to do. Or I'm at the fact that thoughts of being, why is this even happening? We can have those moments, but think of, why is this happening? Okay, it's happening because I have to align something else right now. I have to do something else. So in that seed of life that we have, that's what we have to germinate. We have to flourish. We need all those things to combine to one. We need all our elements around us, and even the ones that acts, as we say, when you see a plant, as you're saying, it starts to die. For that just needs a pruning, just different stages. And it's for that season that we're growing in, as being in that seed of life. I look at the tree of life. To me, when you're looking at that tree, as you said, a tree, will have these beautiful leaves and they change color, especially in the fall. You have all the different colors that they have. But that tree will lose its leaf. But it doesn't lose its base. It doesn't lose its trunk or its roots. But it does come back to life. That's what we have to rejuvenate with ourselves. We have to come back to life even more powerful and more stronger, but better awareness and authenticity for ourselves as we're going and as we're learning what these different seeds we're planting. And we can actually build our garden more with what we want to do, what we want to have, so we can live in that peace. We can live in that world that we want. We don't want to say the tree of life was ugly. Life can be ugly at times. Hey, beauty in the eye of the beholder, like we always say. But it's our eyes, like we're saying, not always staying within societies.
That reminded me of something I got to tell you later, see. But let me share something with you all. I wow, boy, this is okay. I hope you follow. I'm gonna take my time and say it because I know that it's a lot. It's running through my head real fast, but I'm gonna take my time and say it. A lot of times we think, and we talking about the seed. We think that we are budded and we are growing above ground when in actuality we still establishing roots. Let me show you something. If you watch a seed and you watch the development of the seed starts growing out and starts moving about and moving, that's growth. That's actually growth. And that's the growth that some of y'all are still at. I'm gonna say this, I budded, but I have not became the full tree yet. But I have budded. My whole life has been under the ground, has been established in the roots. Now I'm grounded and rooted now. I have budded now. I have budded a little bit. That means, y'all know how that bud, you see a little green little bud, and that's it. But a lot of y'all have thinking and thought that, we there, and you actually are still establishing your roots. You're still underground. And the only reason you think you have budded because you saw a little light as your root moved up a little bit and it opened up the ground a little bit and you thought you saw that light come in, but in actuality, it was still just moving around. I'm telling you, I've just budded. I haven't begun to let people pull from my fruit yet. I'm just budding. But as I keep on establishing, as my roots keep on getting stronger, as I keep on digging, doing let me show you how your roots get established. See, because I said I take my time.
Your roots keep going. Your roots keep growing. They're constantly going. Your roots
constantly going.
Your base stronger and stronger.
Right. It's getting stronger and stronger. But let me show you what I mean when I say my roots getting stronger. So as more as we keep on doing our inner self-check, as more as we keep on doing what do I need to fix? What do I need to surrender now? What do I need to give up now? What do I need to allow to change now? What do I need to add to my list of things that I was all of a sudden it was good back in the day to just let that be. It's all right. It's okay. Because back in the day, it was okay for my finances to be all over the place. I ain't care. But now it's not. See, back in the day, it was okay for me to lose self-control and not have it, but now it's not. Back in the day, it was good for me not to have temperance, but now it's not. So that's what I'm saying. So my roots are continuing to deeper and deeper and grow. Yeah, KG, boy, you in my head. Get deeper and deeper and now establish more foundation. Because when my tree grows up, I need my tree to stand. Because see, when my tree grows up and my limbs start establishing, it's going to be people depending on my limbs to be holding on, able to hold on. But it can't be an effective tree if I don't allow the root process to take fully hold of the expansion down ground. I cannot be an effective tree. I cannot be an effective person if I don't allow myself to be established. And guess what? How you get established? Check this out. You know how you water the ground and stuff like that? That's the people, the mentors you submit yourself up on. That's the people that watering you. Like people like Pastor Graham for me. I got Reverend Rick. One right now that's very, very dominant right now in my life. Pastor Juan. It's people that I have allowed to water me so that I can keep on establishing my roots and keep on growing. You have to be able to allow yourself to be, here's the word that people hate. It's like a cuss word in most cultures, teachable. You have to allow you. Teachable, coachable. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to be able to establish strong roots and be a strong tree that people can lean on. People can catch shade from. when they going through the dark, the hardest of times. It's hot. The sun is beating them up, and they can find shade up under your tree. You can't be that unless you allow yourself to be teachable, coachable, and allow yourself to not be the smartest person in the room. It's okay. Listen, I promise you, everybody is gifted, and everybody has. But I'm telling you, gifting without government is abuse. It's subject to abuse. Me and KG learned that in Louisiana. A gift without government is subject to abuse. So you have to have, I don't care how gifted you are, if you don't subject yourself under someone so that your gift can be government and you can know when to use your gift, when to rely on your gift, and how to use your gift, and what capacity to use your gift, and how much of to use your, because see, that takes training.
A lot
Training. You listen, I'm gifted. I never took a musical class at all. I taught myself how to play the piano and read music. However, I had to come up under someone, may he rest in peace, my brother Menz Lerone, that showed me how to play, when to play, what atmosphere to play, what note to play, how to transition, how to do this. Even though I taught myself how to read music and play, I still had to take that gift and subject it upon somebody. So when we talking to you, I have to just give you the real. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't give you fake, and I give you my own life. Actually, I'm transparent. And Monday, I probably was too transparent at church Monday. But however, that's all I know how to be. Because I don't know nobody else. I don't like to use anybody else as an example. I'll be saying all the time, use me, Lord. And that's what he literally does. Because, see, sometimes people will not receive from you because they don't believe you went through what you're trying to tell them to get over. That's not the case for me. Anything I'm telling you is something that God has blessed me to walk out of. I know for a fact my gifts had to come under subjection. Why? Because they are very powerful. And I knew in order for me to be effective, I had to bring it up under submission, under someone who had matured enough to know how to direct and how to guide in which way it should go. And that was not insecure, but was actually wanting to listen and mentor me for my good. That takes a lot, to be honest about that.
And that's usually volunteer work, that someone will take the time and patience and work with you and develop you as you grow, and not be afraid to be bold, tell you things you don't want to hear. They're being very truthful with you. And that's the type of coaching you need, teaching, mentoring that you need. It's not always supposed to be pleasant. It's supposed to be life, as you said. Life can be ugly.
Yes.
At times it can't be pretty. At times, and a lot of times is how we see it and how we embrace it to be. I mean, for me, going on things that are occurring is to keeping that positive attitude, that positive mindset that we talk about a lot of times. Right. What world are you making for yourself? As they say at times, I is in the beholder. So what are you be fulfilling the vision that you have for yourself? What you would like to have, what you want to be. What are you doing in the next day? What are you doing to implement something that you can stay consistent and committed in doing?
Yeah.
As we're talking about the growth, when it's going to your growth, what can you actually do?
Exactly. And that's where we had to get to. I never want you all to feel like I promise you, the only way you're going to be great is you be humble. I promise you. And you develop relationships. That's the only way. And you okay with serving somebody else's vision, or help or empowering somebody else's idea, or helping somebody else achieve the status of a millionaire status or whatever. I promise you, I just for me, this season, I think it's so much better to give and to serve than it is to do anything else. I promise you, when you get to a mentality to where it's really not about you, but it's about the vision, or it's about the mission. Now, in my arena, it's about the kingdom. It's not about me. Whatever gift I have to add to the kingdom, Lord, here it is. You can have it. If it, I mean, and for me, nothing is too low. KG will tell you, man, we used to clean bathrooms at the church. We cleaned
Nothing
it up.
below you.
We
You're
nothing
saying.
is below us. We cleaned Barrel Church. We ran the parking lot, and we was the pastor's assistants. But we did the things that people would be like, I ain't gonna do that. We'll do it. Okay, we got it. Don't worry about it. It ain't no knock on them. I just shared with somebody. The reason why I have came to a reality that I don't judge people really is because I make sure I keep my life lined up with Jesus' plumb line, and I understand I don't know where people are at in their process. I don't know. And so it's not for me to say where you should be, because that's not between you and God. I just told a person, I said, you have to catch the fish before you clean them. And they say, well, yeah, we got to do that. I said, but see, when you clean the fish, it's that part where you be scraping the scales off. A lot of times people think we at the cutting stage and we still just at the scraping the scales off. We ain't at the part where we go deep yet. We ain't at the part where we expose the fish guts and all that stuff. We still at
And
the
there's a
part
process to that
it's
too.
a process.
There's
It's
a
a process.
process in each level that you have to master
Yeah.
and conquer at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what you have to see and go through. Like you're saying, going through those different levels. And like how you said with the scaling of the fish, there's a
I'm
right
sorry.
way and a wrong way, but it's how we do it. And the thing that you said when you did with different things that you did an assistant while you're doing church, it's what we take away from it. A lot of times, like you're saying, things are beneath you and see you. What is happening in
Yeah.
the aspect of what are you taking away? What task? What thing are you, okay, as you're sitting there going through, maybe you're ushering cars in or having to park. What skills are you using that you could benefit later
Yeah.
in that aspect of it? What can go forward? I think that's the biggest thing is that anything that you're doing, you take that little bit away, you
Yeah.
impact it, and how they say you make it compound interest, as we're saying. As you
Yeah.
move, the little things will resolve to a big thing.
Yeah. Y'all want to know, and KG just brought it up, and I just thought about this. KG did break a window after church service, and we cleaned it up. He was angry. It was something. An incident went down. He broke a window, and he was mad. And this was in the church parking lot. I just want you to know. This is how. Let me say. But see, the thing about it is, what y'all don't get is, we being authentic. We never put on airs. We never said we had to go. And we was at the church, and something went down, and I had to hold him back. But he didn't do what he wanted to do. But it was at the church. But like I said, we was that thing. But then the next week, we was up there praising God, saying we sorry, repenting. We didn't put on airs. It wasn't, well, for what? Like, God accept us, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. God accept you for who you are. The thing about it is, I'm going to shock y'all. Guess what? God already knew you was going to do what you did.
Before
He
you
already
even
know you in what you in. And you still trying to hide it, but he sees all things. It say, if you go make your bed in heaven, he'll be there. If you make it in hell, he going to be there. So he sees and he knows all. But we walk around like, oh, we hiding. From who? For what? I can't, listen, my most favorite saying is, I can't put you in heaven or hell. I can't. What you trying to put on airs for me? You ain't got nothing to prove to me. I'm not God. And that's how I look at my life. You all are not God. I don't have to put on airs for you. I can be my true, authentic self because God knows who I am at all times, 24/7. I don't stop being me because you offended. Yes, I will come. If it's something I did, I will come and apologize to you. But if it's something that's in you that you're tripping on, that's on you. That's on you. Ask God. Pray, 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 pray. Pray. That's all I can say. But I love the fact, KJ, I'm glad you brought it up. I love the fact that even in 2005, I think it's 2007, I was still being my authentic self, even when I walked away from the church. Yes, I walked away from the church. And tell you this, I told the people, church people can go to hell because I was hurt. That's why. I was so devastated and I was hurt. And
stages
so you
that we
say,
have to go
hey,
through.
yeah, you go through them stages, you say that. But guess what now? I would never say that because I understand a different revelation about church. And what I was saying was so mean. I can't wish my brothers and sisters to go to hell. No, I want them to have life and life abundance. But now it's not who I am now. I have a whole different mindset because I have budded and I have established roots. That was me establishing my roots. So down in my roots, I was like, when I'm establishing my roots, church people go to hell. That's because I'm still in the dirt. I'm still down there doing dirty things. I'm still trying to get myself right because I'm down there in the dirt, mixing it and then getting the nourishment like I need to be. And now
That's one way to put it. I looked at it different. I was like, it's peace.
Go ahead.
Peace
You go ahead. Put it your way. Put it your way. That's the chaos way of putting it. Now you put it the analytical way. That was the chaos way of putting it.
I mean, and it's true. And some things, when people think they do things in the dark, like they always say, it does come to light.
Yeah.
I looked at, being in the dirt in the time that you, like I said, sitting in the eye of that storm. You're in there by yourself. You need that dark place, silent place.
Yeah.
To sit calm and to reorganize your thoughts and just take accountability is the biggest thing. Accountability, responsibility for any actions that you can control, that you could have controlled. And now, like you said, you have to go back, either apologize, or we talked about in a previous episode, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, even though we want to be wrong too. You just have to go there. So in the dark and underneath that dirt, you're asking for bread. Because sometimes we're in the dirt, we are doing things we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Looking at it. Sometimes we're down there because it's for a different reason. That's the things how we have to balance. And I'm saying, when we are, you're authentic in one part of you. When you're saying you are still being your authentic you, that's where we still have to bring that awareness of us. Okay, what other parts of us do we need to bring to the pot, that we need to bring to the forefront to continue to be that authentic us, to continue to lead the life that we want to live, and that we're still being okay. Yeah, we were wrong. Like you just gave some examples. Yeah, we were there, but being authentic, there is no control of where or environment or circumstance that's going to pop up in. In every instance, if that circumstance comes up again, if that problem comes up again, it's because you didn't face it.
Right.
Because you didn't grow from it. Because you didn't take accountability or responsibility of the things that you can control. That is why that keeps coming up again. So you're going to be right back where you started from, in a sense, in the different levels. But you're always going to have that. Anytime you grow, you're always going to have some challenge, which is going to always sharpen you, as we say. Iron sharpens iron. You're always going to need something when you're growing there. Sometimes when we're growing these flowers in the garden, or we're growing our vegetables, what do you have to do? Sometimes they get a fungus on them. Okay, what's the fungus? For us, it's outside external influences that are starting to break us down. So what we got to do, we got to find something, find a solution to take that away, find some solution to heal. That's what we have to do for ourselves too. Find that resource that we need, find our own inner being if that's what we need to heal, find some trauma that we're trying to heal from, accept it. To have a conversation actually with my daughter the other day. Some things that she said to me were hurtful, but it needed to be come out because it was held in for so long. And a lot of things that we will internalize. But I respect where she was at. I respected the fact that she told what she wanted to tell me, even though it could have hurt her feelings. But it's just her being genuine and me being genuine too. We both say our styles. We might agree to disagree. We had different perceptions of what we thought. Even something simple of going back and forth for a ride. My idea of going back and forth for a ride was just one way. She was saying both ways. So we had a breakdown on what our perception of a ride was, of a journey, going somewhere and coming back. I saw each way was just two different ways. She saw it again as one whole thing. How often do we do in communication and we begin to understand while we're in our growth, and it can seem chaotic, do we do this? How often do we think that communication is comprehended to what we think? We're not speaking, as we talked before, that language. We're not speaking to where they understand. We think we're being crystal clear. How much clearer can we be? It's black and white. What else more do you need? But it's actually not, because we still have to ask some defining questions. We still have to have an openness, and we also sometimes those emotions will crowd. We have the selective hearing. We have all these, like we said, external stimuli, external elements at time that will come and attack us. They're coming to attack us to try our strength. How resilient are you really? You claim you are very resilient sometimes. You have this tenacity, and I can do this. I don't have no problems. Okay, so you just opened up that can of worms to be tried. Be careful what you speak out your mouth, because you will be greeted with it in a ways that you have no idea how. And it will come from the areas that are closest to you, come from the people that are closest around you, because that is teaching you this is someone close. If you can't usually handle the people closest to you that can hurt you, you really aren't going to be able to handle outside of that, in a sense, truly being authentic. Because when you don't care about somebody, in a sense of you don't care what they think, that's easy for us to get past. It's easy for us to ignore and actually pile through. But when it's somebody close in our inner circle, that takes different context and different weight. Their thoughts have a different weight, especially when you're trying to do, I would say, as a parent, you're trying to be a good role model, good parent. A child is trying to be a good child for the parent and not cause distress in different ways. They're all, like we said, the different seeds that are planted throughout our lives. We leave seeds that we don't even know we left, that need that nourishment, or they need uprooted. What are we leaving too? Not just planting. What are we leaving that we left in that garden unattended? Where are we leaving there that says, hey, we need your attention now. Hey, come prune me. I need help. It's there all alone. How can we sit there and come together as one? So we have to look on both spectrums of that. I can keep planting seeds and leave the ones behind me, but what am I doing with the seeds I'm planting? Or am I just hoping they're going to magically grow there? Am I just hoping it's going to be nourished? Or I'm just doing, or I like to say, are we doing half? We're doing half of what we're supposed to be doing. Are we just doing as little as possible, least as possible, but expecting all of this expectation and all this growth? You can't do that. You can't expect with little minimal attention that you're giving or little growth that you want and expect all these different things to happen. On the other spectrum, you're going to say, well, I did A, B, C, and D. But do you hear what you said? I. So maybe the I wasn't the answer. Maybe you needed a we, you needed a us, you needed a team. So that's why that seed is not growing. That's why that stay stagnant there. And you're pruning it. You're doing everything you think you're doing for it, but you're not actually dumping into the inner. As people, as we say, there's two elements when you're sitting there exercising and want to be healthy. You have the physical health, you have your mental health. We can sit and go to the gym all day, exercise our body, but your mind's not there to help exercise that. What benefit is you? You're just a shell. You're an empty shell now. You're like a zombie or a robot, like I like to say. You're not working it. Your brain is a muscle too. You got to work that muscle. When we're saying we're tired and we haven't done anything all day, what were you doing? Were you doing something that took your mental capacity, took your mental energy? Were you sitting there problem solving all day? A lot of times, those are all different parts. The seed is just not one object. It has different things. It has an outer shell. It has an inner shell. It has a soft tissue inside. It has the nutrients. Your body the same way. You have all these systems that help you as a whole. You need to nurture the whole seed to get the wholeness that you.
Yeah, you're right about that. Let me tell you something. And then also with the seed is another principle, man, that stuck with me for a long time. Now, if you look at your surroundings and you feel like your surroundings is off, that's something. It's still a self check, because we learn, like I said, something I learned in Louisiana. The seed that lies within you is the seed that you are going to embrace. So that very thing that you embrace is what's already is something that's in you. Now, if you knows that thing your surroundings is up, hey, okay, like she said, it's time to dig that up. Because sometimes you need to dig seeds up. They ain't producing. I mean, you just got to do that. You don't.
Or another plot.
Yeah, transfer. Yeah, you can do that too. But if it's not producing what you want, I mean, you can dig that joke up and burn it. Like sometimes you need to do that. Look at your surroundings. Is it really where you want to be? Is it really the people you associate yourself with? Do your contact list. Run down your contact list and see if these people going somewhere or what. And then if you are embracing them, that's that seed that lies in you. You need to do a self-check. That's something internal you need to do. It don't have nothing to do with external. It's something internal you need to do. Like I said, I'm for everybody doing vision boards and all that stuff. That's great. But if you don't do, like she said, like she was saying, if you don't do that internal work, that vision board is worth nothing. Because you got to have a mindset to do whatever you write down as a vision board. I'm for a vision board. I believe in it. Trust me. I believe in looking at it, seeing where you're going to go, like putting the car on there, the house you want, the job you want. I believe in all that. But you miss the most. Y'all focus on so much external, so much that you miss the internal. You need to deal with this, the mind. Because you don't have a mind shift, you can write a vision board. That vision board going to be the same for the next 10 years. The same thing going to be on that vision board because you didn't have a mind shift. You have to shift your mind.
That's going to take the temperature. When we talk about the
Yeah.
temperature of things, looking in, is your vision board in that sense? Is your seed cold right now? Do
Mm.
you thrive more when it's cold, or do you thrive more when it's warm, or do you need some kind of humidity to add into it? What do you need
Yeah.
to move you? To move, what needs to push and move you? The things too is like in crops, the farmers, they have to change the crops. They have to give their crops a break sometimes. They have to alternate with that. That's the same thing that you have to do when we're saying you have to transplant your system. You have to transform
Yeah.
at times where you move. This is not working for me. So maybe I need to be in the sunlight more. Maybe I need to be in the shade more. That goes in the fact of, okay, the sunlight more needs, maybe I need to grow in this area more. I need to cut back in the shade. So quote unquote, your ego, as we talked about, we
Woo.
need to, these aren't working. These elements that I'm using to nurture myself, these aren't working. I need to check that ego. I need to check, maybe, okay, this is not what I'm seeing at the moment. This is what I want you to see, but it's not the true me. So I need to check. I need to come out. Now we change that again. I need to come out the shade because I'm being fake right now.
Right. Right.
Right,
Right.
or I'm being negative. What's coming out of
Uh,
my mouth is throwing shade on somebody else. So any way
mm.
you want to change that, you still have to balance it with being the truth all the way around, truth and
Yep.
transparent. What do you gonna do with that seed? What are you
Yes,
gonna
sir.
do with yourself in your life? The life is one, as we're saying. You die once too. You can always transform and pivot, but when you die, you're not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You end up where you back again. You're back 6 feet under again.
You done. That's it. No more. You can't grow. Like I said, that's it. When the casket drop, it's over. But your casket haven't dropped. So it's time for you to really do some self-checking. Like literally, if you're not, I promise you, let me say it like this. Believe it or not, you either affecting people in a negative way or affecting people in a positive way. Either way, you're doing it. You may
You're never
really,
gonna make everybody happy. You're
you're
not gonna
not.
make everybody happy. Never.
You're not. And so you may say, I don't want this. I don't want to be no leader, or I don't want to be a person that people look up to. Sorry, they do. I promise you, somebody's looking up to you and watching everything you're doing and mimicking what you're doing. And so with that said, you should be very careful about how you prune your tree and how you grow that
And
thing that's what's
reproduce.
inside of you and
Reproduce
reproduce.
those same seeds.
You should be very careful. You should take thought and mind into it. Because honestly, you can try your best to run away from influence, but it is what
One
it is.
sec.
It is what it is.
I didn't
They
get
got
that.
you.
Could you try again?
Well, Siri, will you stop? Siri,
Hey, said try again.
Done.
He said, who do you influence? Try
yeah,
again.
influence. Yeah, that's good. Try again. Siri wants you to try again, your influence. But I'm telling you, that's funny. Yeah, so you have to really dig down deep, man, and understand that whether you want it to be or not, your life is a seed. Someone is you producing something. Someone is feeding off you either positively or negatively. You're affecting someone. And don't you want to do a positive thing? I tell y'all all the time, overcoming traumatic experiences, overcoming things that happened to you in the past, overcoming insecurities, all that is for you and someone else. Your very deliverance can save somebody's life. It is what it is. Somebody is literally waiting on you to get this. They are. They waiting on you to get this. This is why I go hard for this show, because I want y'all to get it, because it's going to save somebody's life. You all are going to reach somebody that would never hear me or see. They'll hear you though. They'll hear you would say the same exact thing. We could say the same exact thing, and we say it over and over again, but you could say it one time and they're going to hear it, because you are the one that their life is assigned to. So it matters that you get this. It really does. It matters that you get this. I seen that. I'm so proud of it. But hey, G, to God be the glory, bro. My growth is God. That's it. I can't equate it to nothing else. It's the fact that I submitted to what God has for my life and said yes. And so that's why you have this before you, because I live a submitted life. It's not when I say submitted life, I ain't say I live a perfect life. I just live a submitted life. That word is sometime whenever the imperfect show up, I decide to say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. God help me in this area. And he does. He shows up. Like she said, be careful when you ask for perseverance and tenacity, because he'll put stuff in your life that you have to persevere too and show tenacity. And a lot of things I have shown tenacity and perseverance because it's the grace of God.
And that's a real trial he's
And
giving
that's a
you.
real
A real
trial.
trial.
Yes, it really is. That ain't no
Real
play
test.
there. That that's real deal. Like I said, a year ago in December was the one where I was tested. Where I was like, for real. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to do it. You can have this. I don't want this gift. I don't want this calling. I don't want it. Not that I was upset. It wasn't that I was upset or nothing. It was that I saw the price of what I had to go through to do what he's called me to do. And I said, I don't want it. My mama said, okay, you can be happy. My mama helped me out. She said, you could not want it, but you ain't gonna be happy. God'll make you can become a millionaire, but you won't be happy not doing what God called you to do. And it was real. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think I was gonna make it through, but I did. God helped me, and He strengthened me, and here I am. And I love every minute of it. Whatever come, I know my power now. We got some serious power if you tap into it. That's a whole nother show. But we're gonna stick with the seed. We're gonna stick with the seed. The seed. Your life is a seed. Please. That's a whole boy. I really want to talk about that.
Well, and the price. What are you gonna do? The way like you said, what price are you gonna pay to get what you want? What price are you gonna pay? And it comes to like we're saying, what do plants need? What do seeds need? We all need
Yeah.
space to grow. You
They
need the
do.
right temperature because
Yeah.
only you know how you're gonna move. You need light, water. You need the air. You need nutrients. Those are essentials. Those are our external or those are internal stimuli. We all need those. And the biggest thing that we need is time. We can't
Yes.
waste time. That's the biggest thing. We may think we have all the time in the world, but what we're going to do with that time? Are we going to waste it? We're going to continue to grow with it.
What water?
Because
Tell them what water is. Water, okay. Water is mentors, therapists, counselors, coaches.
Yeah.
That's your water. That's your nutrients. That's what
And it changes shape.
Yeah, that's
Like
what
they said,
gets you
you
there.
pour
Yeah.
water into anything, it molds to that shape. Whatever water is in it, it's in a bowl, it molds to the shape of the bowl. You put it in a spoon, and most of that. You pour it in a bin or a pool, it always molds to the shape that's in. So yes, they come in different sizes and shapes, capacities, levels. They come from unexpected places. They even come from children, but people don't think, hey, babies actually give you inspiration and some growth that you may need.
Yeah, my son is growing me right now, actually. Yes, he is. So let me tell you
They'll
something.
grow in a lot of different ways.
He's
Temperament,
growing. He's growing.
patience.
Yeah, he's growing. Let me tell you
But they
something.
offer laughter too, though. Babies,
Yeah.
just a baby's giggle
Yeah.
can make a whole room
Change
laugh.
your whole life. Change my
Yeah.
life. Every time.
Atmosphere, like we said, atmosphere, temperature, the
Right.
level where you're at, your thought process, and external stimuli.
Yeah. You know, I asked God for something. I remember I asked God for the gift to lay hands on people and they be healed. I remember I asked God for that gift. Don't y'all ask for God for this gift, because I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I was given 24 hours to live. They say my body, I had overdosed on protein, which I ain't never heard before in my life. But anyway, I had overdosed on protein. My CPK levels was over 100,000, and they was only supposed to be between 400 and 200 and 400. They told me either my kidney, heart, or liver was going to fail, and they had me in ICU. They said it's over. That was it. But as y'all can see, it wasn't over. And I remember praying. I said, God, hold on, I ain't going out like this, Hammer. And so, and I remember praying. And I remember hearing God say, it ain't over till I say so. Till I say so. And I remember coming up out of there, and it was a miracle, because the only thing they used was IV to flush out my stuff, my kidneys, my heart, and all this stuff. And they saw a mass on my liver was benign. They saw my heart, my kidneys, benign. And I'm good. Because I said I want to be able to lay hands on people and they be healed. That's why I asked for that gift. I wanted that gift. And God manifested that, has manifested. It's here. I'm telling you now, it's here. So that's why when I pray for people and I say they healed, I ain't questioning it, because I saw what God walked me through. I've been there. I seen what they say. The doctor, you know how they say on a minimum gospel song, he gave me 24 hours to live and God can't turn around. Yeah, he did it for me. I'm witness to that. He did it for me. So that's why I'm telling you, it's something that you're going to do. It's something that you have to do. Like G said, you have to die to become the seed. I literally had to die to become that very thing. Almost died. That
Like
to
I said,
become
you
that
can
very
become a
thing that I
tree
asked
from
for.
any seed.
Yeah. I have to really, really give God the glory for that. Because a lot of accident I was in, They thought I was dead. My whole family thought I was dead. But again, here I am. Listen to me. I don't never want to paint this picture as it's pretty and it's nice and it's easy when we say what we're saying, because I don't want to give you a false thing like, okay, oh, you could just do it. No, you're going to have to really have perseverance and tenacity to be a seed that is really productive. But it's worth it. The people's lives you're going to change. The people's lives you're going to impact. The people's lives you're going to empower. It's worth it. Even your own life. It's going to be worth it. I promise you, in the end, it's worth it. I love every time I'm able to be around people that make change, that is impactful. I love that. That is wonderful to me. I'm loved at the fact that I'm connected to people that make change. See, like C just told y'all earlier, and y'all, I don't know if y'all took it light or not. C just told y'all all the negative reports they gave her today. But yet and still, she got on here and she's impacting lives. That is amazing to me. That's what I'm like, yo, I have no excuse. I have to keep going. I met a guy who has cancer walking around, but he's impacting lives. That's amazing to me. They get it. They get it that their life is a seed. They get it because they are changing lives. That's all we want you to do. Get it. Change lives. It's important. I know it ain't gonna be easy. Man, I ain't got time to tell you.
No clearer than that.
No, I ain't got time to tell you. Well, see, you close us out.
No, my thing is just like we said. I think actually KJ had a good thing with it. Are you gonna become a tree or are you gonna remain a seed? You choose.
Ooh, wow. That's gee, where you come up with these T-shirt sayings at, man? You go my way with a T-shirt, man. You got some T-shirt sayings. I'm about to go back and look at these podcasts so I can take them off, make me some T-shirts. Because that's powerful, G. Good gracious, that's powerful. That's just as powerful as you ain't wrong. The one he said about wrong and right. Well, we can end on that. Thank you, G. We can close on that one. Read it again, see. We can close on that. That's the one we can close on.
Are you going to become a tree or are you going to remain a seed? Which one you're going to be?
Yeah, we can close on that. That's it. Yo, we'll see y'all next week. Please share. We sorry for the technical difficulties. We apologize for technical difficulties in the beginning. But share this one. Share this one right here. Just send them to this show. Because don't send them to the other show. But like this show. And like I said, we never take it for granted that y'all take out time to look at our show. Because time is the only thing you can't get back. That is more precious than money. The fact that you give us your time, we don't take that for granted. Because you cannot get that hour back, that 45 minutes back. But you entrusted us enough to look at our show, to listen to what we had to say, and you trusted us that we would make your time worth it, and we do not take that for granted. So we thank y'all. We appreciate all of y'all that watches. Thank you to Reverend Rick, Reverend Tracy, Pastor Kevin Graham, my wife Erica, everyone, my Uncle Cletus, everyone, Andre, everyone who watches this show. We
and the replays.
Listen, I'm serious. We do not take it for granted, and we thank you all for that. And we pray that it's something that you can use in your life to keep you going. All right, that's all I have to say. I don't know when I became so emotional, but anyway, we out of here. All hearts and minds satisfied. Benediction. Let's go to the Father. Father, I thank you right now for every single person that watched this podcast tonight. Father, I pray Psalms 91 over their life. I pray that no evil shall befall them. No plague shall come to their dwelling, that 1,000 may fall at their side, 10,000 at their right, but only with their eyes would they witness destruction. I thank you for the angels encamped around about them. And I thank you most importantly that they abide under the shadow of your wing. Father, I thank you that no weapon formed against them will prosper. Every tongue that rises up against them shall fail. And Father, I plead the blood of Jesus over them right now. And Father, we thank you for this time that you have set aside for us to empower the people and to educate the people, Father, and that they will be even better after hearing this podcast, and that their life will be in a true trajectory of their authentic self. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.